Hey everyone, welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Tom, and today, we're diving into something that's changed the way people learn English around the world: group chats and online communities. Seriously, if you're not using them yet, you might be missing out on one of the most fun and effective ways to practice English with real people.
Yes. We're talking Telegram groups, WhatsApp chats, Discord servers, Facebook communities, even Reddit threads, places where learners and native speakers connect not for grammar drills, but for real-life conversation. Exactly. It's the difference between practicing English in a textbook and practicing it in the wild. You get exposed to different accents, tones, slang, even jokes. It's unpredictable, and that's what makes it powerful.
I remember joining a language exchange group on Discord a while back. People were asking random questions like, "What's your favorite midnight snack? Would you rather live in the mountains or the beach?" And boom, suddenly 10 people were typing replies. That's practice, right there.
Totally. And it's not just speaking or writing. You're also learning how to read fast, understand abbreviations, react with emojis, and follow the flow of conversation. That's real-world communication, and it builds skills you can't get from just watching videos.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things is how international these communities are. You might be chatting with someone from Brazil, India, Italy, and Egypt, all in the same hour. It gives you a global perspective on English.
And everyone brings a different level of fluency, so you get to help others, ask for help, and learn together. That's community learning, and it makes you feel like you're not alone on this journey.
Plus, you can join topic-based chats too, like gaming, movies, music, or even book clubs. If you love a certain hobby, find a group that talks about it in English. That way, you're practicing and having fun.
Yes. When the topic is something you care about, you naturally want to join the conversation. You start looking up words you don't know, trying to express opinions, asking questions, and before you know it, you're thinking in English.
And another thing I've noticed is how forgiving these communities can be. People know you're learning, so they are patient. You can make mistakes, ask simple questions, even mix up words, and no one's judging you. In fact, they often jump in to help or clarify.
Right? And that sense of safety makes a huge difference. When you're not afraid to try, you take more chances with your English. You test out new vocabulary, experiment with idioms, maybe even throw in a joke. That's how real improvement happens.
And let's not forget voice messages and audio chats. A lot of groups let you record yourself or hop into a voice room to practice speaking in real time. It's less pressure than a formal speaking class, but still a fantastic way to improve pronunciation and fluency.
Yes. And it's flexible, you can do it anytime, anywhere. You're not tied to a classroom schedule. You just need your phone and the willingness to jump into a conversation, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day.
And sometimes, the friendships that come out of these groups last way beyond language learning. You start talking about weekend plans, family traditions, your favorite music. That's when you realize, English isn't just a language, it's a bridge.
Exactly. And when you've got real people on the other side of that bridge, it motivates you to keep going. You're not just practicing for a test, you're practicing to stay connected, to understand, to be part of something.
And that feeling of belonging, it's what keeps learners engaged. Grammar and vocabulary matter, sure, but it's community that keeps you coming back.
And honestly, the more you engage in those natural, flowing conversations, the more you pick up on rhythm, tone, and timing. You learn when to jump in, when to pause, how to agree politely or disagree respectfully, all the little things that make communication smooth.
It's like real-time language training. And sometimes, it even feels like playing a game. You get better just by participating. You're learning without realizing you're learning.
That's the magic of it, really. When language learning stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like connection, you don't have to push yourself so hard, because you want to keep going. You're curious, you're engaged, and you're emotionally invested in the people and the conversations.
And for learners who feel isolated, maybe they don't have anyone around them who speaks English, these communities can be a lifeline. You're no longer learning alone. You're surrounded by people who understand your journey, because they're on it too.
Yeah, and I've seen people go from being totally silent lurkers to active group leaders, organizing weekly speaking calls, correcting grammar gently, sharing tips they've picked up. Your confidence grows naturally when you're in the right environment.
And another cool thing? You start absorbing cultural references. Someone makes a joke about a British TV show or uses a meme from an American movie, and suddenly, you're learning about culture through language, not just the language itself.
That kind of exposure is so valuable. Because let's face it, textbooks don't always teach you how people actually talk. But in group chats, you'll see things like BRB, LOL, low-key, I'm down for that, and you learn how to sound natural.
Yes. You learn the real rhythm of modern English. And that helps so much when you're trying to watch movies without subtitles or listen to podcasts like this one without getting lost.
It's like your brain starts building an instinct. You don't just memorize words, you understand how they feel in conversation, when to use them and when not to.
And maybe most importantly, you start realizing English is not something distant or elite. It's something that belongs to you, especially when you're using it with real people in your daily life, even if it's just sending a good morning message to your language group.
That's what makes the learning journey sustainable. It's not about one big leap. It's about small, consistent steps, checking in with your chat group, replying to a message, recording your voice, laughing at a shared meme. All of those tiny moments add up.
Exactly. And over time, those tiny moments become habits. You start switching your phone language to English, thinking of responses in English before translating, even dreaming in English sometimes. It just becomes part of your life.
And that's when things really click. Because now, English isn't something you only practice during a study session. It's something you live, something you interact with throughout your day, because your community exists in that language.
And what's really cool is how supportive these communities can be when you're having a bad day. You might say, I feel like I'm not improving, and someone from halfway around the world jumps in and says, I felt the same last week, but don't give up. That kind of emotional support? It's priceless.
That's so true. Motivation doesn't always come from yourself. Sometimes it comes from someone else believing in you. Someone you've never met in person, but who gets it. That's the power of being part of a group that cares.
And it works both ways. You start encouraging others too. Maybe someone asks how to use used to, and you remember struggling with it once, so you explain it simply. Teaching something, even in a small way, helps reinforce your own learning too.
Oh, absolutely. Explaining a phrase or correcting a message politely helps you become more aware of your own grammar. And it teaches you how to communicate clearly and kindly, which is a skill in any language.
Plus, the more active you are in these groups, the more people start to recognize you. They tag you in conversations, ask for your opinion, invite you to join voice chats. You begin to feel like a valued member of something bigger.
And that feeling of belonging is incredibly motivating. You're not just a learner, you're a participant, a contributor. And when that happens, English stops being scary. It starts becoming yours.
And that shift in mindset, from learner to participant, is where real fluency begins. Because you're not waiting for permission to speak anymore. You're just jumping in, contributing, sharing ideas, reacting naturally. You're using the language like it's second nature.
And here's something else that happens when you spend time in group chats and online communities. Your ear becomes sharper. You start noticing the rhythm of native sentences, the way people contract words, the kind of phrases that sound casual versus formal.
Yeah. You might read something like, "Wanna hang later?" or "I'm down if you are," and even if it looks strange at first, over time you get used to it. You stop thinking of English as something you have to decode. It becomes intuitive.
You also begin to see how tone works. Like, when someone uses all caps, or a lot of exclamation marks, or adds LOL at the end of a sentence. That's part of communication too. It helps you understand emotion, humor, even sarcasm.
Exactly. And because these conversations are ongoing, you also get to build relationships. You might have inside jokes with someone from another country, or follow someone's progress as they improve, or even make plans to meet up one day.
And that's what really stays with you. Not just the vocabulary lists or grammar tips, but the friendships. The small talk. The laughs. That feeling of, wow, I never thought I could speak English like this, and now I'm doing it.
It's empowering. It shows you that fluency isn't some distant goal, it's something you can grow into, day by day, message by message, conversation by conversation.
And I think what's most beautiful is that no matter where you're from, what your level is, or how confident you feel, you always have a place in these communities. All you have to do is show up and try. That's enough.
And showing up consistently, even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, can lead to incredible transformation over time. You might not notice it right away, but suddenly you realize, you're understanding faster, replying without hesitation, even cracking jokes in English.
That's the magic of immersion. It's not about perfection, it's about participation. And when you participate often enough, English becomes part of your identity. It's not just a subject you study, it's a tool you use to connect, laugh, learn, and grow.
And the best part is, there's no limit to how far you can take it. Today you're replying in a group chat, tomorrow you're leading a discussion, starting your own community, maybe even helping other learners who are just beginning their journey.
It's like a cycle of support. You get help when you need it, and then one day, you become the one who offers it. And that's when you know, you haven't just learned English, you've lived it.
And for anyone listening who feels nervous about joining a group or speaking up, just remember, everyone starts somewhere. No one begins as fluent. But every message you send, every voice note you record, every silly emoji you drop, it all counts.
Exactly. Progress isn't always loud or flashy. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just having the courage to say, "Hi, I'm learning. Can I join the conversation?" And when you do, you'll often find people saying, "Yes. Come on in."
Because that's what language is for, not just for passing tests or writing essays, but for bringing people together. And when you practice in communities that are kind, fun, and real, your English will grow in ways no textbook could ever teach.
So whether it's a Telegram chat, a Discord server, a Reddit thread, or a Facebook group, find your space. Drop a message. React with a GIF. Share a thought. You never know who might reply, and how that one conversation might change your whole language journey.
And honestly, sometimes it just takes that one conversation to unlock something in you. Maybe someone asks you a question you've never had to answer before, and suddenly you realize, I can express this in English. That moment of surprise, that's real growth.
Or maybe someone shares a funny meme, and you understand the humor. That feeling of getting the joke. It's a powerful sign that your brain is adapting, that English isn't just something you translate anymore, it's something you get.
And let's not forget, these communities often come with a mix of accents and styles. You get exposure to British English, American English, Indian English, Nigerian English, it's all there. And that variety helps train your ear and makes you more adaptable as a listener.
Yes. And learning to understand different voices and styles of speaking is a superpower. It prepares you for the real world, where not everyone speaks exactly like your textbook audio clips.
And when you're part of a community, you naturally develop a deeper appreciation for people's stories too. You meet learners who speak 5 languages, people who are studying English to get a job, to travel, to connect with their partners, it adds so much meaning to the process.
It reminds you that this isn't just about fluency. It's about being human. About using language to listen, to share, to understand others on a deeper level. And that's something truly special.
So every time you log into your group chat or scroll through the messages in your online community, just remember, you're not just learning English. You're building bridges. You're connecting lives. You're part of a global conversation that you belong in.
And when you start to feel that sense of belonging, it becomes easier to take risks. You stop worrying so much about making mistakes, and you start focusing more on making connections. That shift changes everything.
It really does. Because suddenly, grammar doesn't feel like a set of rules, it feels like a way to be understood. Vocabulary becomes personal. You remember a word not because you studied it 10 times, but because someone used it in a message that made you laugh or cry.
Exactly. And those emotional links make learning stick. You won't forget the phrase, "hang in there," after someone used it to encourage you on a tough day. Or proud of you when you finally posted your first voice message in the group.
Or even when someone just writes, "You got this," before a big interview or exam. That kind of encouragement, coming in English, from people who know what it's like, it's unforgettable.
And the best part is, it's real. These aren't practice conversations. They're not scripted. They're spontaneous, emotional, and genuine, and that's where the deepest learning happens.
Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to sound fluent. It's to feel free when you speak. To express what you truly think and feel without fear, and to be heard and understood.
And online communities give you that space. A safe place to be yourself in English, however imperfect that might be at first. And when you show up often enough, you don't just grow your skills, you grow your confidence, your voice, and your identity as an English speaker.
And all of that starts with one small action, joining a group, sending that first message, saying hi. That little step opens the door to so much more than just practice, it opens the door to belonging.
So, if you're looking for ways to improve your English and truly immerse yourself in the language, don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start talking. Join a community. Dive into a group chat. You'll be amazed at how much you learn, not just about English, but about yourself.
And remember, language isn't just something you study. It's a bridge. A way to connect, share, and build relationships with people from all around the world. And every time you participate, you get closer to mastering it.
Thanks for joining us today on the British Accent Podcast. We hope you're inspired to take that first step, jump into a chat, and practice with real people. The world is waiting for you to connect in English.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep connecting, and remember, you're always just a message away from someone new. Stay curious and keep speaking.